Sorry about that. I just had someone knocking at the door. I had to stop the video. Let me resume. Play it. Keep playing.
In the same village, no further details were given. Hundreds of people were transported to nearby sports halls, but others were still trapped. This carer pleads with the local mayor to help save the woman she's looking after.
It's very complicated. We don't know if the house has burned down or not. And the woman I'm taking care of, she can't move around easily.
Some victims who perished have been trying to flee on foot.
It might be that, in searching for an escape route too late, the escape routes were not suitable and they found themselves in a dead end, a trap, with practically no way out.
Hundreds of firefighters and other emergency specialists have been brought in to deal with Thursday night's disaster and its ongoing effect. The top regional official in Andalusia blamed the fire on a power line that came down. Electrical companies denied that was the cause. What is clear, this would have been a terrifying experience for those who made it out alive, and those who didn't. Nick Beak, BBC News, in southeastern Spain.
Well, our Spain correspondent Guy Hedgecoe has the latest from Almeria.
Well, I'm in Los Gallardos, which is the spot near where the fire started last Thursday afternoon. Behind me you can see a few flames, a bit of smoke, which is sort of the very edge of the fire. But the main fire is still burning very strongly. Overnight, 500 firefighters were trying to bring it under control with the help of aircraft and helicopters. But it is still not under control. It has burned 4,000 hectares. 1,400 people have been evacuated from their homes and have been housed in public buildings or with relatives and family. The good news is that today temperatures are expected to be slightly lower, perhaps in the low to mid 30s Celsius, which should help firefighters, although winds have been quite high still overnight and into this morning. Of course, we have those 12 people confirmed dead, and there are concerns that the death toll could rise further because there are 23 people still unaccounted for. So one of the main tasks of emergency services throughout today will be to look for those missing people. But what we do know is that this is the worst fire tragedy in Spain since 1984.
And Guy, I know I and my family were trapped in a wildfire in France a few years ago. It is utterly terrifying. It's hard to explain, just how.
Yeah, utterly terrifying, hard to explain. Well, that's, again, the way Babylon the Great is going out. Let's get that precept. This is Revelation chapter 18, starting from about read off from verse 1 and read into it. Revelation chapter 18 and verse 1. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lighted with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven, saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues. Yes, so we have to arise and depart, for this is not our rest. For it is polluted, and it shall destroy you even with a sore destruction. That's Micah 2 and verse 10. We have to mentally and spiritually arise and depart from Babylon the Great, or whichever land we've been scattered to, which follows after the ways and philosophies of Babylon the Great, which is what America has that great influence over the rest of the world, and a lot of people living in other parts of the world, they still follow after the customs and ways and lifestyles of Babylon the Great, because that's what's described in the scripture as the wine of her fornication. She's made all nations drunk of her wine and her confusion. So it says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached up to heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. Reward her, even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. How much she hath glorified herself, and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning, and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord power who judgeth her. There you go. So Babylon the Great is going to be utterly burned with fire. So all these people here saying how terrifying it is, these wildfires in Spain, Babylon the Great's fiery destruction and demise is going to be 10 times worse.
How awful it is. One really feels for people who are trapped there and for those who've lost neighbours and friends. But do we know whether anyone at risk in the area has been or is being evacuated? Because the wind can take the fires in really unpredictable directions.
Well, yes, I mean, this has been one of the main challenges for the authorities, and that's why we've seen not just firefighters and members of the military in this area, but also more than 200 civil guards as well, who've been helping organise some local people, getting them evacuated from their homes. A local sports hall here has been used to house people who've been evacuated. Getting information to people in this area has been seen as an absolute priority, because a lot of the people who live here or the holiday makers who are staying here are staying in homes or houses which are slightly remote. They're not necessarily in towns or villages, they're in rural areas. And there's a feeling that may have been the problem later on Thursday night, the early hours of Friday morning, when these people were killed by the fire, that they were not able to find an evacuation route. They weren't able to follow the routes that were laid out for them by the authorities. So that obviously is a major priority for the authorities to keep people well informed about the situation.
Guy Hedgecoe there in Spain. Well,
there you go. So that's that. Just one more precept. Revelation 18:8 again. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord power who judgeth her. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her, when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city, Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise any more. There you go. So a lot of people are going to be, a lot of people who do trade with America are going to lose their businesses, because they're not going to be trading with America anymore, because America is going to be utterly destroyed. It's going to go into perdition. It's going to be wiped off the face of the earth, never to be dwelt in again. So with that, I want to once again give all praises, honor and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Hakodash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone at Wall, and Shalom unto the 144,000 elect men of the nation of Israel. And the rest of the elect are destined to be saved, and I'll catch you on the next lesson, Lord willing. Shalom for now.